Lemon face. Ooh. Tiger face. Ah. Lemon face. Ooh. We love that workout right there.
Yep.
Got our mouth workout.
Yep.
You can't spell daddy without the Addy. I said you can't spell daddy without the Addy. Hey, Addy, let's. When we're screaming, you gotta take it way down, right? Because the microphone picks it up and it ruins every time. And we talked about not screaming it. Let's try it again. You can't spell daddy without the Addy. I said you can't spell daddy without the Addy. Now we could just get that recorded so we can throw that up and get that posted on there. That would help too, right?
Yeah, it would.
We're coming a little late on the show today. Also early. We're trying to start by 8:15, but we usually start right about 8 o'clock. Addy's got coffee brewing. We have a wonderful show today. The truth about Black History Month. This month is Black History Month, as you know, and as everyone will be tuning in here shortly to read about. We are going to break that down for you so that you get the proper education that the public school system may not have given you. Is that right, Addy?
Right.
That's right. We're going to bring in the truth.
Yes, we are.
That's right. We have some great news. Addy has a wonderful corner today. She's going to drop some good news. Is that right, Addy?
Yes, we
are. Are you going to teach us something on today's episode?
Yes, I am.
And that's why we have you tuning in today, because you're smart, you're intelligent, and you like to be informed. And we thank you for choosing us as one of the many sources that you trust to bring you new knowledge, current events, and maybe a few dad jokes up in there.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
Now, before we can get into there, Addy just brewed me a delicious cup. Now, guys, remember Erica over at X or on Locals, for those of you who are there. We are getting into Rumble, and we are trying to check out other platforms. But Erica has all your Scott Adams merchandise, the only official place to go to, straight to Erica.
Straight to Erica.
But if you know, then you already know. Isn't that right?
Yep.
Okay, Addy, could you please lead us in that simultaneous sip?
Yes, I can. All you need is a cup or a mug or a glass, a tankard or chalice or stein, and
Canteen for the 100th time. Say teen 15 times, please.
Teen.
Okay, go ahead. Read it again.
Canteen jug or a flask, a vessel of any kind. Fill it with your favorite liquid. I usually coffee, hot cocoa works too, with some homemade syrup, with some homemade chocolate syrup, or crunchy peanut butter, soft peanut butter. But anything works. And let's do a simultaneous sip.
For that dopamine hit of the day, let's get it in. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Whew, that is hot. That's delicious, little lady.
Thank you.
Man, getting that fresh cup, getting the day started is amazing. Now, when you wake up, we don't take our caffeine immediately when we wake up in the day. Is that right, Eddie?
Right.
It's important to let your brain get going, right?
Yep.
So do we do push-ups? Do we do calf raises? Show me some calf raises. Where's that second heart, guys? You got one heart here. Where's your second heart, Eddie?
In the calf.
In the calves. Kids, ladies and gentlemen, the calf is your muscle. The bigger your legs,
the bigger your brain.
That's right. It's one thing we taught everyone this week, as scientists have showing that the bigger your legs are, we're seeing bigger volume in the brain. So get your calf raises in, pump the circulation, get your walks in, and focus on strengthening those legs. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. Most everybody talks about, we talk about muscles like, what up here? Big muscles. And trust me, you want to have big muscles. We need that protection. But for the longevity of your life, for the longevity of your circulatory system, what do we want to work on?
We need to work on our second heart.
Our legs. That's right. Good job, little girl.
Thank you.
Pump those calves. Pump those legs. Now, lots of things are happening around the news today. We have several pieces that we're going to get to, and we're excited to talk about Black History Month, the truth for Black History Month. And we're going to be reading from Grok. Grok has provided us with fact checks using sources that we can verify each and every one, and we can go back through all of these sources as we do. So one thing that we did this morning as journalists is we reach out using super digital intelligence, Grok. Thank you, Elon. Thank you to the team there at X. We use Grok, and as a researcher and as a journalist, it provides lots of fact checks. So it goes straight to the sources. It goes straight to the information. You're able to dissect, read through, verify, right? Because just because somebody else tells us this is a trusted source, as journalists, do we just say, okie dokie?
No, we say maybe.
Yeah, that's what Grandpa taught us, right? And so we look back and we dive into, so we see the sources that Grok gives us and we trust Grok. But as we trust with anybody, we are still going to do our research and verify. Is that right?
Yes.
So we spent this morning going through Black History Month and diving into the sources that Grok provided us for the morning news. And we have verified, and we are excited to bring that news to you today. Is that right?
Yep.
But before we can, the reason that the President of the United States loves tuning in is because of one reason, Addie. And can you please remind us all why we were here, why 50 individual states are here?
Let's go, kids. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And justice for all has been on the menu as we enter 2026. Now, we'd like to talk a little bit about some of the current events, the news going on, but what's most important is we get straight into Black History Month, okay? We'd like to dive straight into it, and we're going to be doing some readings today, okay?
Okay.
We're going to start at the beginning, okay? The country formed in 1776, and we would like to note that in 1768, Wentworth Cheswell was elected to the town constable and selectman in Newmarket, New Hampshire. Nice job, New Hampshire. Have we been to New Hampshire? Yeah, Daddy's been what they call above the notch in New Hampshire. Mommy's gone with. We stayed at the Presidential Hotel. Mommy went axe throwing while Daddy was meeting with the CEOs. Wonderful people out there. Way too cold for us to ever want to live there. But you can pretty much ski any mountain any day of the week. And we saw kids getting off, school on a Tuesday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and skiing, just for fun on some of those little mini slopes. So New Hampshire is cold, but you should know that they were the first. 1768, they put Wentworth Cheswell in charge as a constable and selectman. Now, there was no party affiliation with that back then before the party system, so we'll leave that out. Yep. 1836, Alexander Twilight. Elected to the Vermont House of Representatives. 1855, John Mercer Langston, elected town clerk in Bronham Township, Ohio. Party, Republican. Addie, hold up 1 point for Republican.
1 point.
1868, Pierre Landry, first Black elected mayor of Donaldsville, Louisiana. All right. First Black elected mayor of Donaldsville, Louisiana, 1868. Party, Republican. Another point. 1870, Hiram Rhodes reveals he was appointed and seated as a U.S. Senator from Mississippi, the first Black man in Congress. His party, Republican.
3 points.
1870, guys. Another one in 1870. Joseph Rainey. He was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives from South Carolina, the first Black man to enter the House. Party, Republican.
4 points.
1872, PBS Pinchback. I think I should say this Pinchback. Mm-hmm. The acting governor of Louisiana, the first to serve as governor, the first Black man, Black History Month, 1872 in Louisiana. Party, Republican.
5 points.
Okay. Democrats will jump in here somewhere. 1875, Blanche Kelso Bruce. You may remember him. He was elected as the U.S. Senator from Mississippi, the first full 6-year term served by a Black man in the U.S. as a Republican.
6 points.
All Republicans, okay? 1888, Edward Park Duplex, elected mayor of Wheatland, California. Going, back to Cali. First predominantly white town. His party was unknown. No major party noted for Edward Park Duplex. Okay. 1888. All right, now we're entering the 20th century. 20th century. All right, guys. That was the 1800s. Now, welcome to the 1900s. Now, Addie, what are we in? We're in the 2000s, right? We're the 20,000s, right? Let's see what happens in the 1900s. George Henry White served in the U.S. House of North Carolina. Yeah. Wow. And he lasted until 1929. That was over 20 years. Yeah. Party affiliation, Republican.
7 points.
Black History Month is starting strong for Team Republican, guys. Yep. 1928. Oscar DePriest, elected to the U.S. House from Illinois. First in the 20th century. Party, Republican.
8 points.
First in the 20s. So we know that it was only Republicans in the 1800s. Only Republicans in the 1800s. Nobody elected by the Democrats anywhere for Black History Month. Now we enter the 20th century, and what do we see?
What?
Republicans right off the bat. 1938, Crystal Bird Fawcett elected to the Pennsylvania House of Representatives, the first Black woman in state legislature. Here we go. Democrat.
1 point for Democrat.
There we go. Nice job, Democrats. Get on the board. 1938 with Crystal Bird was the first Pennsylvania House of Representatives.
8-1.
1949, William Dawson appointed to the chair of U.S. House Committee Party, Democrat. 1949. Now, what we're going over here today, guys, are the people that were first into their spots, the people that were first to represent Black History Month. So there are others, and there are some more that may got into some positions afterwards, but we're hitting the first so that you can get all of those learned here for your Black History Month, right?
Yep.
Now, that was a point for Democrats. Now we have 1969, or 66 still, Edward Brooke.
Oh.
First Black elected U.S. Senator from Massachusetts. You love Massachusetts. We go to Cape Cod all the time.
Yep.
Boston was a good party for you, huh?
Oh, yeah.
He was the first by popular vote post-Reconstruction Party Republican.
That's 9 points.
1966, elected U.S. Senator from Massachusetts, Republican. You didn't think Massachusetts Republican, but there you go. 1967, Thurgood Marshall, we all know Thurgood Marshall, appointed Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. So the first Black justice appointed as an associate was Thurgood Marshall. He was Democrat Party. Good point. Democrats earn a point.
3 points for Democrats.
1967, Richard Hatcher was the first elected mayor of Gary, Indiana, one of the first in major cities. Richard Hatcher was Democrat.
4 points for Democrats.
1972, Barbara Jordan, elected to the U.S. House from Texas, the first Black woman in Texas, or maybe even in the South here, Party Democrat.
5 points for Democrats.
Marion Jackson, elected mayor of Georgia, the first in a major southern city, Democrat. They're leaving out the Republicans from the northern cities, so they're divided here, south and north.
6 points for Democrats.
They're catching up. Patricia Harris, appointed Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, was the first Black woman into the department, into the cabinet, Democrat.
7 points for Democrats.
Harold Washington was the first Black mayor of Chicago. And our first, and you guys know this one, our first Supreme Court justice, which was the second Black justice, but the first to the Supreme Court, Republican.
10 points for Republican.
Now, this young man, Clarence Thomas, we should know, started as a Democrat earlier in his career. And as he progressed further and saw the hate that he was getting from multiple sides, he did switch, following more of his conservative routes, and became Republican. So he is Republican, but he did start as a Democrat. So we'll give a point for the Republicans there, but we got to give at least a half point for the Democrats, right? Because he started his career as a Democrat.
8.5 points for Democrat.
Yeah, we got to give a half point there.
8.5 points for Democrat and 11 points for Republican.
That's pretty good. Now, guys, we left out a lot in there. We'll do more this week. It's Black History Month. Today, we wanted to show you the first of the first, right?
First of the first.
And as you saw right off the bat, when the Republican Party first became in existence, anti-slavery, it established each of the roles throughout every elected position that you could have, establishing first, putting people of color, Black people in America, Black Americans into power so that they could have that authority and push that across. Is that right?
Yeah.
And that's beautiful to see. Now, eventually, did we start seeing the Democrats catch on and start offering elected positions for Black people here in Black History Month?
Yes.
Right. So there's a long pictures. Now, we could do a whole show about the parties switching because they didn't switch, and we'll talk about that in more detail. But we want to make sure during Black History Month, we get a lot of the information out there so that everybody has the whole take, right?
Right.
And one thing that we want to make abundantly clear that a lot of people will forget during Black History Month is that the Democratic Party that did establish the KKK and Jim Crow laws, more specifically, hung white men known as radical Republicans next to Black conservative fathers. And it's important to notice that during that time, and we understand that was a little while ago, but the process was take the black conservative fathers out of the home. They actually hung them next to white men, radical Republicans, they called them, in effort to terrorize and to push the women and the children back toward the Democratic Party. Now, we understand that Democrats today don't like hearing that, and they don't like knowing that. But when we talk about systematic racism, or we talk about problems that exist in communities over time, why is this one always ignored, right? Why is the black conservative always attacked most in America? Right now, you can go on to X during Black History Month. You can go on to X, and I don't encourage you to do this with the children around, but you can go on to X and you can find lots. And when I say lots, we're talking over 20 plus different white liberals that are known members with Antifa, known leaders in the Democratic Party. And you can see them on screen. Addy, cover your ears, screaming the hard N word, okay, at black conservatives, law enforcement. So for some reason, when a black man is in law enforcement, white liberals are allowed to scream hard N's and lots of other different pieces directly at a black man. Okay, Addy, you're up. And that seems odd for Black History Month for you to allow that, for the public to allow that, for the Democratic Party to be allowing that type of behavior. You won't see anybody attacking that behavior other than conservatives bringing it up that is racist and that's uncalled for. But white liberals always get a hard pass when it comes to their racism. And we won't allow that anymore. It's Black History Month and it's 2026. It's not 2024. It's not 2020.
It's not 2025.
It's 2026. And we're moving forward. And we're going to do so united. And we do so because we see black men standing up all across the country, regardless of their party affiliation, because they want the truth. And the truth will set you free. Is that right, Addy?
Yes, it does.
The truth will set you free. So knowing where we've come from, that the Republican Party was the first to establish every piece of position that we could elect, putting black people into power. The Democrats in the 21st century eventually caught up. We want to make sure that that's noted. We do see on both sides a country trying to be united. But here in 2026, it's very easy to see who's trying to divide us. And for Black History Month, we want to remind you where the Republican Party started, where the Republican Party is going. And it's going to take men and women of all races, all colors, all genders coming across from all 50 individual states, having conversations about where we want to go. Where do we want to be? And during Black History Month, we encourage everyone to speak to your neighbor, to speak to your friends, and to have real conversations. It's not acceptable for white liberals to do the talking for the black community. It never has been, and it never will be. As Malcolm X made it abundantly clear at the end of his career, for anyone that paid attention, Black History Month, Malcolm X made it abundantly clear that the white liberal would destroy the black community. And all that we've seen happen over the last several decades is that. We look specifically at Chicago. Thank you for tuning in for Black History Month. We see multiple people tuning in right now. Thank you for tuning in. We've gone over some of the records and we've just talked about the scorecard, but we want to specifically have you, the journalist, do your homework. Look at Chicago. Chicago, from 1933 to now, meaning they never have given up power, has only been controlled by those Democrats, like we discussed, that created the KKK, created the Jim Crow laws, and tried to suppress the vote. Those same people that were in charge of the Democratic Party since 1930s, right, have still been in charge of Chicago. And what are the outcomes? Well, before President Trump got involved, it was the worst of the worst. Murders were at all-time highs. Drive-bys, unidentified, yes, lady.
I was just showing you were going through the roof.
All the way through the roof. And it took a Republican who's hired Democrats to step in and stop the murders. Murders are now down to the lowest levels we've seen since 1900. That should be celebrated. In Nigeria, we saw Muslims attacking black men and women and burning them in churches. This administration sent in the military to stop that. It's Black History Month, and we need to be talking about what this administration and what the Republican Party has always done for the black community, because it's time to unite against the outcomes that we've seen. We do not want to see the outcomes that we've been seeing. Across the land, we see safety and security being provided for some and not for all. And while many will like to speak up against systematic racism, it's very difficult when you point to, well, who's been in charge of all the policies and rules in Chicago, right? One party, not both, not everybody. We love to blame a uniparty, right? We're libertarians, but who's the only person that's been in charge of Chicago?
Democrats.
Okay, and how is that working for the outcome of the Black community, little lady? It's not good. We've been on the ground. We've spoken to these individuals in person. We've learned that their votes have been overridden in some of these cities, that even the local community wanted to maybe vote for a different Democratic candidate. And then we realized that fraud and cheating kept the correct Democrat from even winning. So whoever you are, whatever you want to be part of for Black History Month, the outcomes are what matter. You stand against systematic racism. Is that right?
Yes.
It's Black History Month. Do we all stand against systematic racism?
Yes.
That's right. But in order to do that, you must witness and look at how long we've seen the Democratic Party in control of just Chicago, Baltimore. When you start looking at some of the most dangerous cities in the world, you don't see color. You don't become racist. You in fact see the Democratic Party, the same one that owned slaves, that owned the KKK, that created Jim Crow laws. You see them only in charge, and you see the outcomes that only they wanted. There is nobody I know that wants the outcomes we see in South Chicago, in South New York, and South Baltimore, all the way across St. Louis, all the way to Atlanta. Nobody wants those outcomes, and yet the only party in control is getting those outcomes. When will independents take control? When will the Green Party? When will libertarians? When will conservatives? When will anybody get a chance to help Americans unite when only one party is in control?
Yeah, when?
Now, we understand we're probably made a couple of friends mad, and some other people have already clicked off the show because they didn't want to hear Black History Month. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
The truth shall set you free.
Yep.
And if you can't handle the truth, we understand. The truth is a lie. Is that right, Addy?
Yep.
We're going to stop there for Black History Month, and we'll get more back into it this week. Do not think that we are done. There is a lot to discuss for Black History Month, and it's all month long. We're only on the 7th of February, and all we've done today is shown you who was the first to enter into our elected offices here in America, both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, and I believe we had 2 independents in there. So we'd love to see more, and we'll talk more about that as we get forward. But today was about elected officials into office, right?
Right.
And there are some amazing people in there, aren't there?
Yes, there are.
We'll have to revisit and tell you a little bit about what they did and what they were able to accomplish in that office. But today's episode was just showing you where they came from and showing you the balance that all through the 1800s, it was only the Republican Party electing people of color, Black people, into power, right?
Right.
As we entered the 20th century, it was still the Republican Party. But right about in the 60s, mid-60s, we started seeing a little bit of oomph from the Democratic Party finally putting the Black community into power. Is that right?
Yep.
Now, we'll talk more about that later this month. And if you have anybody you'd love to brag about or us to have a theme on the show, please let us know. We'll be picking some individuals and highlighting them throughout the week through inventors, through culture changers, music, science, all the good stuff, right?
Yep.
We may not even stay here in the U.S. We may go around the world.
Around the world.
Around the world, around the world. That's right. So join us more this month for Black History Month. Today, we wanted to make sure we drop some real truth to you. We know that you're able to handle the truth, and we know that the cognitive dissonance is strong in many of our friends. Some of the liberals will get very upset with our show today, but again, the truth shall set you free. Okay, Addy, you have your corner. Let's transition now to Addy's corner. Addy, what do you got for us on Addy's corner today?
Great Pyrenees. Great Pyrenees come from a group of large white livestock,
Ancient
dogs from Asia Minor, and 9,000 BC.
Whoa, all right. So we talked about the ponies yesterday, where they were from 2200 BC. But these dogs go all the way back to 9,000 BC when they were first found, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, pretty cool. All right, these are some old dogs.
Yeah.
What do we got?
They migrated in 3000 BC to the Pyrenees Mountains, but went between France and Spain.
All right, guys, so these dogs migrated over the course of those 3,000 years, 4,000 years there, into the mountains, which are located in France and Spain. And we know that. We have some of your great bloodline. Adeline is there in France, right?
Yep.
She probably had a Pyrenees, don't you think?
Yeah, for sure.
Probably did. Yeah. Okay.
Breeded to become the Great Pyrenees, we now know 100 to how big? 100 to 160 pounds.
Okay, so after they made it over to the mountains, they were bred as a mountain dog to watch the livestock, and because they're there in the Pyrenees Mountains, they became the Great Pyrenees. That's pretty cool. Now, guys, those are really big dogs, up to 160 pounds, maybe just a little bit bigger than our Akka over here.
Yep.
Do you have any personal stories you could tell us about the Great Pyrenees?
Yeah, I have a couple. Ready? This brings us to our family farm in Oklahoma. They have a Great Pyrenees, and his name is Yeti.
That's right. Nana and Papa Goat have a beautiful Pyrenees that watches the farm. He loves those animals. He is so good with the chickens, so good with the goats, like really, really good with the goats. Like I've never seen a dog this good with the goats. Our Great Pyrenees is great with the goats. What's his name?
His name's Yeti.
Yeti, of course. He looks like a Yeti. Do you have any fun stories about Yeti you can tell the group?
Oh yes, I have one. Ready? Whenever he gets off his leash, whenever he gets off the chain, he is a big knucklehead. He goes straight, climbs over the fence. Barbed wire, wood, barbed wire, and metal, it doesn't matter. He climbs over, runs down the street to the pond, and jumps in.
This bro, we have him on a big chain. And if you let him off that chain, he'll look you in the eye, and then he runs for the gate, climbs it. I don't know how a Great Pyrenees climbs the gate, but this bro just like straight climbs the gate, jumps over, runs to the neighbor's pond, gets as dirty and as muddy as possible. He does not look like Yeti when he comes back. He looks like a Sasquatch. Yeah. And he's so dirty and messed up. But Nana tells us he doesn't need a bath. Just watch. And what happens, Addy, when this Great Pyrenees is covered in mud from head to toe? What happens as we watch in just an hour? What happens?
He shakes it all off and he's clean again.
Yeah, it starts to get dry, but his coat won't allow it to stick. It doesn't absorb the moisture, right? It's made so he can sit in the snow, and resist that temperature, right?
Yeah.
And so all of that stuff never actually gets into his coat. It just sits on the top of it. And then he shakes it and is he pure white again?
Yes.
Bro looked like a brown dog like 30 minutes ago. And then he just shakes and he's pure white again.
Pure white.
Absolutely amazing. But wait, there's more. Do we have another story about the Great Pyrenees?
Yes, we do. This brings us to the zoo.
The Gulf Breeze Zoo here in the Emerald Coast. We have several friends there, and we've interviewed a couple, right?
Yep. We're going to the
zoo. Zoo. How about you? You can come too, because we're going to the zoo.
They just got 2 new Great Pyrenees.
2 new Great Pyrenees.
And at night, they take them on a walk to go all around the zoo to protect them and see if there's any predators around.
So what the zoo has done is, if you've been watching our film, we did some interviews at Christmas. You saw us there at the zoo with the wonderful Zubilee.
Yep.
And they brought in, I'm not sure where they got them from. We'll have to double check on that. But they got 2 Great Pyrenees pups, and they've had them in the cage next to the lions.
Next to the lions.
But they got them right next to the lions, right?
Yeah.
And the Pyrenees have been training, getting used to the animals, getting used to the names.
Yeah.
At night, do they have raccoons and birds and all sorts of predators that are messing? No, the predators that mess with the zoo. Well, there could be some local bears, but are there other animals that are messing with the zoo?
Yes.
Right, and so they can't hire security to be running around all over the zoo, can they? No, those raccoons are quick. So what have they used, or are they going to be using for the security?
The Great Pyrenees.
The Great Pyrenees. So it was tripping people out. As kids were coming to the zoo and they saw the dogs in the cage, they were like, why are these dogs in this cage? They were a little confused, weren't they?
Yeah.
But we helped them understand what was going on, right?
Yep, they're the Great Pyrenees.
And now the Great Pyrenees, we believe they've already started this in the new year. They were supposed to be trained. But at night, now the Great Pyrenees can literally just be let go, and they'll just run around and walk around the zoo, checking it out, keeping the gorillas safe, even though we don't think the gorillas probably need much protection, huh?
Maybe.
No. I mean, did we watch Tarzan last night?
Oh, yeah. The gorillas are sweet, but Mugwai, they're the mean ones.
Yeah, you got to be tough if you're going to get in there, right?
Yep.
Daddy had to fight his way in, right?
Yeah.
Earn his spot.
Yep.
But guys, the zoo is changing the game, and it's an absolutely beautiful thing. So Great Pyrenees are beautiful livestock animals. They get up to 160 pounds. They love the cold. You know,
Yeah.
some of us are getting hit with the cold, but if you live outside of Texas and Florida, the Great Pyrenees are wonderful pups. They will love your animals and take care of the farm with no training. It's in their DNA.
It's in their DNA.
Right. They've been doing this. They've been mountain dogs. So if you bring them to your farm, they're some of the most amazing animals that you could ever ask for in regards to taking care of the livestock. Is that right?
Yes, they can.
They'll sleep with them. They hang out with them.
Yep.
Awesome job, guys. Addie, thank you for teaching us about the Great Pyrenees. Now, guys, we wanted to make sure that our show was on top of Black History Month and they were getting out there. We also want to make sure that you understand that.
Why are fish so smart?
I don't know. Why are fish so smart?
They live in school.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
So thank you guys for tuning in today. Thank you for watching. We are trying different platforms. We tried to go straight to Facebook today. We'll be posting out on X as soon as we get the show wrapped up here in a few minutes, and we'll get back to there. Today is a special Saturday episode. We covered the truth of Black History Month, and the truth that you learned today is who were the first people elected to offices here in America?
Yep.
When did Democrats finally start electing people of color into power, right? Which was a very long time, right?
Yep.
None in the 1800s.
None.
None in the early 1900s.
None.
Didn't even start until the late 1900s. Is that right? Or mid 1900s. Is that right?
Yeah.
And there's reasons for that. All we want you to do is stay informed and understand why. And when you look at outcomes, again, you're able to identify who's in charge, right?
Right.
And that's what's important. If we are going to learn, if we are going to change, and we are going to grow, you might have to get uncomfortable for a few seconds. Is that right?
Yes.
And did we make some people uncomfortable this morning?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. We saw one of our liberals piece off, didn't they?
Yeah.
They got a little mad. Does that stop us?
No, it does not.
The truth shall set you free. Now, we want you guys to have a wonderful Saturday. We're going to get off and get our family day started. Addie did 6 shows this week. Absolutely wonderful job this week. Addie, I'm very proud of you. Thank you for putting it in. Thank you for leading us in the pledge and the simultaneous sip. Thank you for our Super Saturday special. We're going to go out today and do some Pledge of Allegiances at all the different flags around the Navarre area today. Is that right?
Yes, we are.
All right. Look for those.
Nice.
Anything else you'd like to say to the group, Addie?
Yes, let's do a prayer real quick.
Okay. Go ahead, little lady. Lead us in prayer.
That's good. Lord, thank you so much for allowing Scott Adams to be in our life. Thank you so much, Lord. Please allow Scott Adams to rest in peace. Thank you so much. Please protect us. Please allow people to know truth will set them free. Please allow us to be safe when we make the truth and the choices. Thank you so much, Lord. Please protect us day and night. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Addie, for never being silent and always being the loud majority that America needs in order to change.
Thank you.
Now, if you'll lead us in one more pledge, we'll get right out of here.
Let's go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for sticking with us, and thank you for your support. It means everything to us. Whether we have 1 view or 100 views, we appreciate your view, and we thank you for tuning in today. We hope you have a wonderful Saturday, and God bless America.
And remember,
you can't spell daddy without the Addy. I said you can't spell daddy without the Addy. Hey, good job. We didn't scream that time.